Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars. It's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and we're shifting into drive on this Wednesday morning. And I'd be thinking it's going to be a wet Wednesday morning. So stick around. We'll have the daily weather for you. We'll have our morning swiggy. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome aboard. Thank you for letting us into your world as we let you into mine, which is quite interesting all the time. So therapy is good. Yeah, it's good if you hang out with us full time. Get your 16-pack of Crayola crayons and your Car Connection flap top, we call it. It's been nicknamed now the flap top leaf bag. So you got lots of room to take notes, draw pictures, do a little doodle art while you're driving. No, that's for your co-pilot to take notes. But if you need to listen and re-listen to our podcast, we have, today's officially episode 151 in season 2. We're going to be wrapping up season 2 in just a little while and heading into season 3. So all our episodes are now populating, exporting. Is it importing or exporting? You know what? Am I the only one that messes that up? It's just the podcast land into our YouTube channel. So I guess that would be exporting. They export from our iHeartRadio RSS feed directly. Once they're scheduled and they go public, they land in our YouTube channel. So I'll be working on thumbnails for those almost 200 podcasts to make things a little more interesting for you on our YouTube channel. So homepage of our Car Connection Business Network.com website. We're rebuilding that after all this time and putting the pieces together. Our marketing tools are almost ready, so I can meet with some companies and begin building it back after the COVID disaster. We'll just pull over and leave that parked right on the side of the road near the swamp where the gators are. Everything we talk about lives at our website. It's the biggest drawer in our toolbox, so I make it easy for you to find me. Too many choices. That's what causes a lot of confusion. So I've always thought, you know what, don't give too many choices and make it simple for people to connect and not get frustrated. How many of you are like myself? I get into a website, I can't navigate it, I jump out of it. It's that simple. It's like, you know what, I don't have time for this. Exactly. So our homepage of our website is where you'll find everything you need to follow, like, share, subscribe, join part of our Car Connection community on Facebook, Instagram, on the local website that our videographer created to bring the local businesses in Stevensville and the community of Stevensville together. She has us posted as expert there, and we put articles up. That's where you'll find all the goofy stuff. So if you're looking for bloopers, outtakes, and reels, you got to keep an eye on Facebook, Instagram, and Stevensville on the web.ca. That's where our iHeart logo is, where the podcasts are on all the major Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Podbean, and the like. So wherever you're pulling your podcasts from, Car Connection Workshop in the search bar. We have our online merch store, so you get Motormouth Car Connection merch. Proceeds completely go to Total Freedom Addiction campuses, Canada and U.S. USA. That's where a new life awaits those who have made that decision to break free of their addiction for good. That's where it all happens. So when you buy merch, 100% goes right to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses. That's the way Skippy and I want it to be. We will beg, borrow, and steal for a cup of coffee if we have to. No, maybe not the steal part. But it does happen here. When there's more than a few people around, you put your coffee down, gone. Go, anybody see my coffee? No. And my cup? No, don't even know what it looks like. Oh, it looks like the one you're holding in your hand. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That was really good. That's how the coffee gets stolen around here. If it doesn't have if it's not freezing cold and got a skin on the top, it's gone. Yeah, so you don't put your cup down. Yeah, it's a good thing. All our program partners are on our homepage, and we are so thankful and grateful for them that they migrated over once we jumped out of radio back in November of 2025. 31 years in. So now we have more ways for you to watch and listen and engage. And remember, cars don't break when it's convenient. They break when it hurts. Yep. Experiencing that now. But today, you know what today is? Today is Toyota FJ Day. Today is the day when we get everything back. I get everything back in under the hood that's missing because I took it out. And everything's all serviced and putting it back in. And then I decided, wait. And one more thing. The power steering reservoir looks kind of tardy inside. It's dark and kind of tarnished. So it's very difficult to read the depth of the power steering fluid. So I'm going to knock that off, take it out, pull the hoses off before I put the new stainless line in there. And that was an extra. It just happened. I thought, you know what? I'm going to just take a look at the power steering while I'm in here, the front of the engine. It's sitting right in the open. And the line that I put in, had to replace it, puked at the dollar store. What is it with the dollar store? That's like 3 rounds for me at the dollar store. It came out, fired it up, nothing. Yeah, battery just died. Then 2 years before that, I came out, fired it up, turned the steering wheel, and all I heard was, and I go, what was that? And I look, and there's this big stream of power steering fluid spewed across the parking lot. I'm going, well, we have a leak. So anyways, that's an extra today that I will take care of, is take the reservoir off, flush it out with some mineral spirits, clean it all up, put it back on, and then we can build it back better. At lightning speeds. Where have I heard that before? All right, so join it. Thanks for joining us this morning. I don't want to digress. It is hump day. So if you're scooting through the drive-thru, double check your order. Flip-dipple check it. Make sure you're not disappointed as you're 5 miles down the road already and discover that you have tea instead of a latte. Not that that's happened before, but anyways, be gentle. It is hump day. We're in the middle of the week. We're almost at the weekend. A big reminder, by Friday noon, I need your automotive questions in to motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com or niall@ccbusnet.com. And I've gotten into the habit of putting the email addresses at the very bottom of the description boxes for YouTube videos and our podcasts. So if you go to any podcast, you'll see title, description, in their episode and season. I do all that myself. So you can teach a rough dog new tricks. You sure can. Absolutely. You got to be open-minded. You know, as my professor would say, the mind, Motormouth, is like a parachute. I go, okay. Yeah, it only works when it's open. I got that. Yeah. So I share that with you this morning. Remember that. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So lots to get through this morning and lots going on in the automotive world that we haven't even touched on yet, but we will be touching on a number of items that are coming up. The number of engines and transmissions that are going down on General Motors products that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing, actually, very much so. And people that have been I feel sorry for the product loyal people, but when you're paying, $80,000, $100,000 for a Denali, whatever that is that like a ice cream bar? Denali? I think the flavor would be really good. Yeah, can I have a Denali bar, please? A number of people would like to, do construction or deconstruction to their Denalis. 100,000, third motor, only 7,000 miles on it. Like, this is the stuff going on. The Silverados are breaking down. The 5.3 liter V8 Chevy motor. The what's the other one? The 6.2. Just a bag of hammers. So, folks, if you're not doing your own homework, here's the best way I could help you is just stay away from that stuff right now. Even if you find an older one in good shape with a 5.3 or 6.2 liter gasser in there, don't touch it. It's a world of hurt right now. You got to go back. And I am hearing so much from the channels that I do watch, and I respect the folks that have the channel. They do their homework, and I respect that. Saying the same thing I am. Stick with the old stuff. It's better than the new stuff. Picture yourself, engines down, transmissions down, and you're making payments on it, and they're battling with you. The manufacturer, the dealership's not going to pay for the repairs. Leaves you where? Standing by the side of the road, getting a ticket for the 52-seater. Or is it a 46-seater? I think they added a few seats so we can no longer say the 46-seater. The bus. Yeah, that's shameful. It's a mess right now. It is a big mess for a lot of folks that have bought the product, loyal to the product, and the things are going south. Like, not once, not twice. Last night I watched the YouTube channel that I watch. He does all the legwork for me, and he does a great job at it too. I gotta say, he gets facts, articles, and factual information, and also information from people going through it. So receiving emails saying this is what I'm going through. 700 and something. I think the lowest one was like less than 1,000 miles. Third motor. There it is, being loaded up on a flatbed. Almost $100,000 vehicle. Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me in this day and age. So you might want to take a secondary. I say all that to say this. And now you got the EV disaster that I knew was coming, but I hadn't sounded the alarm bell because I was hoping it wasn't going to happen, but it's happening. So if you have an EV, it's going to be a challenge for you. I'm just saying, this is the issue, folks, that I've talked about, and this is the lane I've been carving out and have been carving out for over 40 years. When it comes to the automobile, you got to learn how to play the car game, honey. You got to learn how to play it. I'm a good player. That's why I have older vehicles, and they are reliable because I follow my own car connection fleet maintenance system. And what do I do next? I just rotate the pattern, start it over again, and keep care of it, and keep an eye on it, and don't drive it like you stole it, and don't pack miles on and see how far you can go before that $3 oil filter plugs up because it doesn't have a blow-off valve and blows the filter right off the oil filter housing and blows the motor. Yeah, just simple stuff like that. And that's not a story. That is absolutely true. So that's why when I say go buy that $3 filter, yeah, that'll take your motor out, pal, in no time. It's a piece of junk with it nicely painted with lettering on it. You need a real filter on there. Yeah, and you're gonna pay down for it, but it's okay. That's cheap form of maintenance to protect your engine. So here we are, folks. The lid is off Pandora's box with these EVs bursting into flames, and there's nobody excluded. It's Volvo, it's BMW, it's Mercedes, it's Ford with their Mach-E. Thank goodness we only have one in the neighborhood here, and it's way down near the lake. Yeah. But you only have 3 seconds once it bursts into flames to get it into the lake to shut it down. Yeah, it's crazy. You go online, you will find real-life videos where when one of these EVs bursts into flames, the firefighters say you literally have 3 minutes to get out. When you see that happen, oh my goodness. I think immediately of single mom, got a kid in the back, or, mom's in the front, kids in the child seat in the back, the thing goes on fire, you got 3 seconds to get out. You're going to be able to get the kid out of the car seat and get out of the car. It's going to be completely engulfed. It's scary. Like, this is the stuff that this is the quiet part they weren't saying. But what I'm going to talk about in the series that I've been studying for on these things, on these EVs, I'm not even going to be talking about the cars themselves. I've gone digging deep into the quiet part that no one's saying anywhere. Not 1 ounce of media, paid media, are saying the quiet part. So I'm going to say the quiet part. I might be popular for a while in the wrong way, but it's okay. Somebody has to put the truth on the table, and it's out there. I'm not anyone special, so we will tip off that series. But right now, I knew this part was coming because these batteries are made by a company in China called BYD. They're still trying to put out a fire at their plant where they stored all their test EVs in the robot stacks them like 5 or 6 high like cards, and there's thousands of them there, and they're burning. They've been burning for over a month, but the fire got started by a contractor, caught some insulation on fire. Oh, haven't heard that excuse before. Oh, okay. These are test vehicles parked that caught fire. Yeah. So the company's BYD. The problem with all these EVs, like I just mentioned, the Mach-E. So Ford's got issues. Mercedes, Volvo, and then your domestics. But I'm not the message. I'm the messenger. NHTSA. That's what we call it. National Highway Traffic Safety Act has impounded these vehicles because of they just launched themselves into thermal takeoff. And what that means is the cells and the batteries are failing because of foil inside the battery. It's supposed to insulate the cells of the battery are folded over. So the batteries are defective. So we want to bring 84,000 of these vehicles created by BYD into Canada. That's a great idea, don't you think? Man, that had to be a really good latte to come up with that decision. So these batteries in these vehicles are built by who? China. BYD is the company. So now we got parking lots that are closed to EVs. They don't want EVs in supermarkets. This thing is going to take off like a wild horse. What do you call them? The can. I call them C-can. That's the name for it, is the shipping lanes that have the cargo boxes. Remember the fire on the ship? Do you know what caused that? EVs and containers on the container ship. So that was the quiet part that never got said. How did the fire start? Remember hearing that in the news? How does that fire get started, and how is it going to burn out? They couldn't put it out. You know why? Because the fire departments can't put out EVs either. They can only just monitor the fire. So now insurance companies jumping on this with policy underwriting that just wait for it. You're going to get a letter that says you can't park. Well, and the NHTSA doesn't want any of these vehicles from any of the companies, whoever made it, parked in your garage, under your carport, near your home. Insurance companies are going to jump on that. And I've said this for a long time now. It's going to be underwritten if these things can't behave and they burst into thermal takeoff. Your insurance company is going to give you a notification of the EV they're insuring for you that it better not be within 50 feet of the house. Because when they burn in your garage, it takes the whole house down. They can't get the fires out. So before I go off too far, but it needs to be said, be careful out there. Make sure, pay attention to what's going on, folks, because if you listen to the talking heads, you're not playing the car game very well. Yeah, because they don't tell you the truth. Am I the only one that noticed that? My mind works like inside of a clock 24/7. I have a mechanical mind. I take stuff apart in my mind and I know how it works and how to put it back together and how to take it apart. And I look at the truth and I feel sorry for every single one of you that stepped into that ring of fire and purchased an EV way before these things have really, truly proved themselves. And now you're going to be hung out to dry. That's what's going to happen, because people are already phoning the selling dealer. You sold me an unsafe vehicle, because NHTSA is involved now. The National Highway Traffic Safety Act has been watching very closely what's been going on with these things, and so has the insurance companies. So get ready. It's a family show, so I'll say the poop storm is coming. The poop storm is coming. You're not even going to be allowed on ferries. That's already happened. No EVs on ferry ships. It's going to get ugly. And I'm praying for you. I really am. But when I say that you don't know what you don't know, you got to do your homework to play the car game really, really well. So right now, with all the vehicles that engines are dropping like flies on domestics, especially, I'm particularly General Motors. They should be absolutely shameful what's going on to people. And they're making payments on vehicles that have been down for months and months and months and months. So, and, I could talk about diesel engines, but not all of you drive diesels. But there's, the diesel owners, the diesel pickup owners, the C4 pumps. You better do your homework on the C4 pumps on the Fords, you guys, because that's a $6,000 disaster waiting for you. So there's a tip for you this morning. The C4 injection pump explodes, detonates, and put shrapnel throughout the entire workings of your diesel engine. And that means it's what? It's over. It's done. If it detonates and blows itself apart, every piece of your diesel engine is going to be showered in metal particles top to bottom. It's over. And it's not covered. If you're outside of warranty, it's going to be your ticket, mister. So lots of stuff going on. It's incredible. So let's jump back in this morning. Let's have our morning swiggy together and get back on track. But I really wanted to put that stuff out there because it's real. It's real. It's happening. And my best advice to all of you is get doing your own homework and don't listen to any more talking heads. Political, left-wing media, paid media with our beautiful tax dollars we all work hard for. Let's not go down that hole. Don't listen to any of them. Lies, lies, and more lies. They lie worse than carpet. Yeah, or a rug. Don't listen to them. It's over. The truth is out there, and the lies that have been covering this whole stinking thing up is now, you know what? The cat's out of the bag. And now they're not going to be able to put it back in, because once the NHTSA gets hold of it, you're done. You're done as a car manufacturer, because here's the problem. Here's the biggest problem, friends. Just those vehicles. And you know what? Fact check me. I flip-dipple dog dare you to fact check me on this. You go right ahead. Because you know what? I'm as honest as the day is long. I'd rather be telling the truth, no matter how good, bad, or ugly it is, all day long, than have to remember your lies. That's exhausting. My Nana would always say, you can catch a thief, but it's very tough to catch a liar. But the truth's out. And there's no fix. That's the bottom line. They don't have a fix, because the batteries built by China and their BYD factory, and Google that, BYD China. Then you'll catch up. They don't have replacement batteries. Ding, ding, ding. Menu's up. All right. Okay, let's have our swiggy on a nicer note. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. We've almost made it to the weekend. Reminder, Fun Friday coming up. We'll probably talk about some of that stuff on a lighter side. I'll try and bring some lighter things to the table for you. Saturday is Q&A, 1 hour of Q&A. I usually have time to cover 3 questions in total and break them down for you and give you enough information so that you're armed and dangerous at that point with knowledge. This is the thing, is, in high school, if you copied your brainiac friend's homework all the time, and then you got into a 3-hour exam and you can't copy their answers because they're sitting on the other side of the room, how well are you going to do? Not too good. I'm just saying. I wouldn't know anything about that. No, nothing. Nothing at all. I'll tell you, when I sat down to write the automotive exam, 4.5 hours in downtown Toronto, you don't have much brain left to even find your car in the parking lot across the street when you're done. You either know it, you either know what you should know, or you don't. And that exam will weed out the wheat from the chaff. Thank you to our good friends at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for building Canada since 1931 with quality building supplies and materials, from metal, angle irons, rebar, the whole 9 yards, and designer block. From plain old cinder blocks to designer building blocks, they make them all on site. They have everything you need to create that outdoor hardscape landscaping space that you can call your little oasis, and it's worth it. Connect with the Grimo family. That's Kathy and Dave, husband and wife team, and his brother Dan, doing a great job out there at Niagara Block. If you need a contractor referral, just talk to Kathy Grimo. She's in the front office there. She'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction of a contractor that can estimate your project accurately, start the project, finish the project, and you're gonna love it. So create that, get busy, create that outdoor space that you've always wanted, and you know what? Enjoy it, because I know I do. It's not super glamorous, but it's, you know what? It's very nice. It's nice. It's a nice place here to hang out. Well, let's have our morning swiggy and get that out of the way and kind of move towards the brighter side. But folks, again, do your homework. Get hard after it, because I'll tell you, they're going to hang you out to dry. I can see it coming, because it's all about money. Yeah, they're going to put the onus on you, and that's the sad part. That is the sad part. But, safety's number one. It really is. In fire, it can be our friend, or it can be a disaster, an absolute disaster. So raise your favorite cup of beverage this morning, and on 3, 2, 1, we enjoy a swiggy together. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I put a little extra local honey in here. Yeah. I just picked it up on the weekend, actually. Thank you to my friend Angus. He's a firefighter, and he's like a miniature farmer. They have everything. Yeah. It's good to have connections. You know what I'm saying? It's great They have great referral businesses to work with and great connections. If you send me an email, I'll tell you where you can get, farm fresh honey. And you got to get there before it runs out. That's the deal. Yeah. So sometimes they have extra fresh eggs. All depends on how the hens are laying. They should be pumping them out right now like chicklets. Yeah, I love fresh farm eggs. I'm not a store. I grew up working on dairy, chicken, beef farm, and I really loved it. And I learned a lot at like age 12, 13 through 16, driving tractors at age 13 with wiggle wagons on, all the different things we did every day. But I learned a lot about from the field to the table. I learned a lot about that. And I will take a dozen farm fresh hen eggs anytime over what's in the store shelf any day of the week, because I won't tell you the story about that. You might not want to eat them. Yeah, just that those eggs have been hanging around for quite a while before they hit the shelves. That's all I'm going to tell you. I won't tell you how long. So thank you to City Auto Sales and Leasing, Earl and Louise Grant, the husband and wife team out there at Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. You'll always get a low mileage quality vehicle at a fair price there. Earl and Louise have spent almost 25 years. They have the right resources to find that specific vehicle you're looking for. If they don't have it, they have in-house leasing and financing. Friends, they are absolutely worth your while to go and meet Earl and Louise Grant. You won't want to leave there. That's your second family, and you're safe to buy a vehicle there. They don't sell any junk. So you're not going to get a skunk in a mink coat or lipstick on a pig. Let me tell you, you're going to get a low mileage quality vehicle at fair prices. You're able to buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. That's why City Auto Sales and Leasing has been a part of Car Connection for many years now. I wasn't a fan for a long time bringing car lots on board. I tried it, and you know what? Hard to find an honest one. But in City Auto Sales and Leasing, that's the one. That's the one for me. So if you got to drive 2 days to get there and take your toothbrush, your mouthwash, and your jammies, it's worth it to be able to come away with what I call a goodie. A goodie. So thank you to Earl and Louise Grant for bringing us Wednesday's weather report. Let's have a look-see. Here it is. Well, we might as well get the bad part over right away. Precipitation. Yes. Here in the Niagara region, expect just a little over a half an inch of rain. 0.6 of an inch. 52 degrees right now and cloudy. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 49 degrees. Rainy conditions expected around noon today. Take your Nelly, your umbrella Nelly. Today's temperature range will be from 43 to 55 degrees. It's going to feel a little more like 38 to 53. So we might see a 55 today. Overnight low 43. Yesterday we actually hit 61. It did rain in the morning, but it was cloudy, and then the sun came out late in the afternoon. Apparently, that's what I was told. I've been busy editing and stuff, so that takes time. It's a huge commitment. YouTube and shorts and thumbnails and all that kind of thing. It's a commitment, and anything in life is a commitment, no matter what. And your automobile, it's a full-time commitment. It really, really is. If you find yourself living in a shotgun shack, I'm a music guy, I'm sorry, but music plays in my head from the time I wake up to the end of the day. It's just it. My friend Rob is like that too, and his wife says, Rob has music in his head all day long. Well, he's a music teacher. Yeah, check out Fort Erie School of Music. sometime on our website. Those are my good friends. Rob and Tracy Rolston own Fort Erie School of Music, and let me tell you, they have worked their heinies off to put that school together, and they do an amazing job with all age groups. They really do. They should have another cantata coming up, I think, in the spring. I look forward to that. If you have questions regarding a portfolio, investment portfolio, and you have a portfolio in the bank, you got to get the heck out of Dodge. You got to get out of there because you're not making any money. And I can say that truthfully because I have steered friends to Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, and they've never been happier. Why? Because they're certified financial planning professionals. They deal with debt, estate planning, mortgages, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and a whole lot more. Tax planning, you name it. Because it's not what we make, folks. It's what you get to keep. And what you get to keep, if you've got that invested with a bank, you're making pittance on your money. It's not working for you. It's not. They sell investment products. You get the same as the next guy, 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 the next guy. That's how it works. You need someone who knows how to do that for you, a fiduciary that understands the world markets and can get that money working hard for you 24/7, so when you look in the morning, there's more. That's how you want it to work, folks. So get that hour and a coffee discovery meeting booked in. If you're drowning in debt, get that discovery meeting booked in. I've known Tony and Larry over 20 plus years. They've been my planners for over 20 plus years. These guys are two of the best in all of Canada, and you wouldn't know it. They're very humble. So put your wallet away, put your purse away, call them today, connect with them through our website, but get that discovery meeting set up. Whether you meet with them, they meet with you, you do it by Zoom, by phone call, in a box with a fox, in the boardroom, in a coffee shop. But the bottom line is, it's a hurting world right now. And a lot of people are in tough shape. And you think it's over, and the lady's singing, get that discovery meeting. Get these fellas on your side. Whether you choose to work with Larry or Tony, choose and do. Remember, the do does and the did is done. And it's that simple. So thank you to Tony and Larry for being a big part of Car Connection from 2007 till now. They're there for you. They're not there to sell you anything. They're there to listen and do. So take advantage of that. Honestly, you'll feel a whole lot better afterwards. Well, what are we talking about today? Well, we touched on some of the emergency stuff going on out there. I'm considering we might have to do kind of like a little daily news report. What's going on now in the automotive world? But there's so much. I mean, every day I do research every day to stay ahead of the curve, to find out what's really going on. I do not listen to the talking heads. I don't read newspapers. I don't touch any of that. I go to my resources where I know I can get the truth, because it's just a waste of time. They're just reporters aren't reporters anymore. They're storytellers. Put them in the right category and leave them there. That's what I say. Shame on you. Yeah, shame on you. Stand up. I'm a big advocate for that. Stand up and be your person. And, agree to disagree. That's it. Simple. Keep it simple. If you in the shop, when I'm teaching apprentices, I go, I don't care if you change the headlight with your left hand and the other tech changes the headlight with their right hand, as long as the job gets done and it's done well and it's finished and it's right and tight, doesn't matter. Agree to disagree. What the heck is going on out there? Is that we're listening to the wrong people. I'm your peeps when it comes to automobiles, let me tell you. I'm not in the corner of the manufacturer. I've been tried to be, they've attempted to buy me off many times, and I won't do it. I won't do it. Simple as that. I could have been doing extremely well with some of the big corporations, but I am not willing to sell myself out to push stuff that I don't believe in actually works. Period. I like to sleep straight at night. So we're going to be talking about a problem that does come up, and it doesn't matter what year, make, or model. And this goes for everything. There's good and bad in all manufacturers. But if you're not caregiving properly, it doesn't matter what you have, you're going to kill it. It's like some people have green thumbs, and some don't let them babysit your plants when you're away, because they're going to be dead when you come back. They're going to wipe them out. That's just the way it is. And my mom was like that. I'd get her flowers. She goes, "Don't let me touch it, because I'll finish it off." Yeah, and that's the way some people are. They're not green-thumbed, and they're not really good at taking care of their automobile either. So you go through them like socks, and that's expensive. That's an expensive pattern. But sometimes we, as techs, we get into an area where we feel we're a bit backed in the corner when we have a mysterious noise or an intermittent problem with an automobile. Those are the two pet peeves that I have as well. I would much rather, if I could go for a road test with the customer, and the client can point out the noise and it's there to hear it, and it's continuous. That I like, because I know we can nail it. I know so, because we just did it on the 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan. Yeah, it was thumping and banging in the right rear. So you have to watch that video. I'm in the back of the van. Skippy's driving, and I'm working the camera. It's a video you got to watch, because you'll just, make sure you go to the bathroom before, so you don't pee your pants or have a hot beverage in your hand. But we nailed it. It took, first you got to do the road test. And we're out there and it's raining. I mean, the rain's coming down sideways, hitting every pothole we could find. And I'm bouncing around the back of the van, trying to hold the camera, trying to get the sound recorded so you could be there with us. But we nailed it. We did get the sound. And then the second video we shot was, let's go after it and see what it is. So we nailed it. We did. But that's what it takes when the noise is consistent. So, and it was. Once we started hitting the right potholes, the noise was there continuously, so I could get it recorded and generally figure out, from being in the very back of the van, back of the bus, boy. And that's where I was, getting tossed like a salad, but we nailed it. But that doesn't always happen. And this is the thing. If you've got a noise that's annoying you in your vehicle, the best thing I can do for me, in my sanity, and for you, is we got a road test together, so that I'm on the same track with you with regards to a noise. If you drop it off, vehicle makes noise, and you say, well, I think it's in the left front. It could be in the right rear. It could be. Sometimes it's very difficult to nail these things down. So it works out better if we go for a road test with you, and you can point the sound out that is of concern to you. That way we can tune in on to that sound and locate it, find out what's going on. The flip side of that coin is an intermittent no start is enough to put any service tech in some kind of treatment plan, therapy, facility. Because if you drop the vehicle off and the day before it was a no start and you were rushing to get home to get to the kids because they're getting off the bus in a moment, and it wouldn't start. You come out of work and it wouldn't start. You come out of the grocery store, it wouldn't start. But when you started in the morning, it fired right up and you got your daily chores going until you went to the supermarket. I think some vehicles are, I think there might be a bit of a reaction to supermarkets for no starts. I'm just saying, it just seems like that's where it happens. Or the bank. It happens at the bank. Or the dollar store. Like me. 3 times. Same vehicle. I just got to get that out of the way. 3 times, same vehicle without warning. And it happens. It happens to me. It happens to you. But don't lose your patience. Because just imagine having one of those newer vehicles today and you can't drive it, but you're making payments and paying insurance, but it's car down for who knows how long because they don't have a fix. You have an older vehicle, their parts are available, and you can get them. We can get them relatively quickly. A day or 2 is probably the most we've waited for something. But for the most part, vehicles aren't held up too long. So the old, find yourself an older vehicle, 5 to 10 years old. I would even go I'd probably go 8 to 15 years old personally, but that's just me. Something older, stay away from the 20-somethings. I would say 2022 and up. Stay away from that stuff right now. It's just not proving itself to be a viable project or suspect. So when we get an intermittent no start, if the vehicle's at the shop, it got towed in, we go out to check it and it fires up, nothing is worse than having to phone you and say, the tow truck dropped it off. It's been here about a half hour. We went out to do some checks on it and put the key in the ignition and it fired right up. What do we look for? All we can really do for you is, because we don't want to get the parts cannon out. And this is the thing. Be patient with your tech. Be patient with the car. We will nail it. But we don't want to just start throwing parts on it. Because that costs you money. It costs you time and money. The time you got to work to pay for the parts that we threw on it. Because you make us feel obligated to come up with an answer. And I just went through this. You can watch the video. The 2009 Hyundai Accent. It's called the J-Bean. Short for jelly bean. It kind of looks like a jelly bean, the shape of it. So that's how it got the name J-Bean. So that was last summer. It was an intermittent no start automobile. I get a call. It's broken down. It's out by the lake, blah, blah, blah. I'm at a friend's house. She picked me up. The car's there. Keys under the mat. So I head out on a service call. I get there. I turn the key. I don't hear the fuel pump buzz. So I turn it back. I turn it forward. I still don't hear the fuel pump buzzing. So I check the relay under the hood. And you have to watch the video on that one because you can cheat a little bit. And I did. I had a little sneaky Pete to make sure that if it's a fuel pump relay, I can test that and verify it in less than 2 minutes. So I head into the relay box, and there's usually relays that are exactly the same that run something else. So I take it from the something else and pull the fuel pump relay out and put in the same exact relay that runs something else on the vehicle that doesn't really matter at that moment. Push it in and see if the pump runs. If it doesn't, then I know instantly it's not the relay. So now I need to know, is it the wiring? So I pull the back seat. This all happened like within, it wasn't even 20 minutes. Popped the back seat, flipped it over, got it out of my way, pops the lid. I popped the lid that covers up the fuel pump. It's great. You can get to the fuel pump from inside the car without having to dismantle the car to get to the fuel pump or to even get to the wiring. Brilliant. And there are some car manufacturers that have thought about that. It's a great idea. So I get to the electrical connectors. I test. I got power. I got ground. I turn the key. The car starts. You know what I'm saying? I tell you that example because that's exactly how it happens. We get the vehicles being towed in. Customer calls us. It's a no start this morning. girlfriend from work picked me up and brought me in. It's dead in the driveway, keys under the mat. So a tow truck driver picks it up, brings it in, drops it off. It sits for a little while. We go out, we put the key in it, we go to crank it, and it fires right up. Great. Now what? All we can really do at that point is just preliminary checking. But unfortunately, we're going to need, if you're willing and wanting to be a very nice, friendly participant, we can get the parts cannon out and say, well, it could be this, but it's a possibility it could be that. But what if it's none of that and it's just a wiring problem? A little rodent has caused a nibble through because wiring now has soybean in it. So guess what? That's why they eat the wiring. Isn't that brilliant? Let's change the insulation compound on vehicle wiring to a menu that rodents like to eat because it tastes good. So we put soy in the insulation on the wiring on your automobile now. Isn't that brilliant? That's like saying, big flashing lights, come and eat at Joe's. Your car's on the menu. So it could be that's the problem. The wiring's not totally eaten all the way through, and I can't tell you a number of times we've found that. And it takes patience with the customer, patience with the car, and patience with yourself. That you don't get caught up in the emotion of, well, I can't have the car doing this, it's not reliable. Well, I can't help that. What I can do is when we have all the holes in the Swiss cheese line up, then we're going to get somewhere. But until then, we're not. So if it gets dropped off again as a no start and we hop in it and it fires up, what are we fixing today? How much money would you like me to throw at it in parts with the parts cannon? And if it doesn't work, somebody's not going to be happy, Jerry. That's right. You're not going to be happy with me, and you're going to be going, well, why did you do that? It's a no-win. Yeah, it's like your spouse or your girlfriend saying, does this dress make me look fat? Is that the time? Yeah, you can't, if you answer, you're going to bury yourself, insert feet all the way up to the hips. Yeah, you can't win that one. So I wanted to just share that with you today. The bottom line is, if a car's making a noise, or it's a no start, or it's not running right, and then we get it, it's running right. I hate that. I really do. The thing's running like a champ. What do you fix? If we can't duplicate the issue, I'm not going to spend your money. What I am going to say is, look, this is going to be a challenge, and explain it out to you just like I did. I'd much rather not touch it than throw parts on it and it hasn't solved anything, because the next moment it does it, I'm not the hero, I'm the zero. But if you drive it for 3-4 days in a row and it doesn't do it, I'm a hero. But that moment it does, I'm a zero. And my phone rings and my ear gets larger. Yeah, and I need a hearing aid because you blew out my eardrum. This is the reality of intermittent. Whether the noise is there, yesterday it was there, today it doesn't seem to be there, or it didn't start twice last week, but it seems to be fine right now. There's no sense in dropping it off. What I want is it's dead on arrival, and it's dead when I go out there to test it. Because instead of just assuming we got to push it into the shop, it's worth a shot. Put the key in, see if it starts. Then all we can do at that point really is put our engine analyzer on there, take a look if there's any clues whatsoever pointing us towards a possible suspect that is the causal component. But if we can't find something that says, okay, this is the area that it's pointing us to and the vehicle doesn't start. Or this is the noise and yep, I heard it, got it to do it, and we're on it. And we can nail it and discover, there's the concern, the cause, the correction, the confirmation. Those are the 4 C's. The concern, cause, correction, road test, get the confirmation the vehicle's fixed. And I had a vehicle one time, the lady just said, you know what? I got another car. I don't drive it a lot. I'll take that to work, keep it, and drive it. Give me permission to drive it. So that I had all my test gear. In fact, at that point, we were both frustrated with this car. I had all my test equipment all set up on this car to determine, is it spark, is it fuel, what's going away at that moment when it doesn't start. So this vehicle looked like a laboratory test monkey, and it was okay. I even had a snitch light that I created, so that if the light's flashing, I know that that's the problem area. So this vehicle was all set up, and I drove it like that, so I could monitor fuel pressure. I could see on my screen on my laptop what's going on with all the sensors and controls and devices and computers, so that when that moment came where the thing just shut off while you're driving, I could see what vital sign disappeared. So then I could at least determine, is it fuel? Is it electrical? Is it computer? What is it? So find the category where the problem exists to narrow it down. And we did nail it. And it was wiring. That had been eaten through under the back seat, in behind the carpet. Rodent damage. That's what it was. So I just thought we'd talk about that a little bit this morning. It's just as frustrating for you as it is for us as techs, that we tear our hair out when we get intermittent issues with automobiles, that when the vehicle's there dropped off for us, we cannot get it to duplicate the situation. And we're not making it up. As I said, I would not want somebody to spend my money frivolously to try and make correction. I'm not going to do the same for you. Absolutely not. So this is what we know. And remember that there's 2 ways to own a car: living in the unknown or living in the know. And one creates a lot of stress. The other gives you a lot of peace of mind and freedom. So let's pull over and park and leave that one there. I hope that shed a little light on. I hope I made you laugh a little bit this morning on your drive into work, or if you're heading for home. Owning an automobile can be a very stressful thing when things aren't going right. But when things are clicking and things are going right, you can own any automobile you want and keep it as long as you want, as long as the structural integrity is solid on the vehicle. Everything else can be reworked, serviced, repaired, and cared for. And you can pack the mileage that you want on that vehicle, because it doesn't matter. Mileage does not matter whatsoever. It doesn't. The FJ is heading for 400,000 K. And I've already got people going, 400,000 K? And yesterday, I'll leave you with this. The one fella I watch on YouTube that is following the story on GM's blunders with their product line. They're not the only one in the soup. Trust me. And it was an interesting, I thought it was a very interesting conversation that he brought to the table. Was, go get yourself something older that's more reliable. That's how he finished off. And I go, that's pretty much it. And he said, those vehicles, if they weren't breaking down, for that kind of money, you should be able to put 150, 200,000 miles on it. And I'm thinking, for that kind of money, that thing better out freaking live me. If I'm spending $100,000, which I never would, on a vehicle in the first place, and make payments and interest on that, if that's all I can get out of that product is 100 to 150,000 miles, I don't want that thing. Absolutely not. I'm thinking 500,000 miles and then some. You know, if truck drivers can put 1,000,000 miles on a truck engine and driveline, there should be no reason why we can't follow suit once we understand the power behind the fleet maintenance system. Once you get it and the light switch goes on, folks, you'll now be winning the car game for the rest of your life. You will not be making car payments. You won't. Pay for it and keep it going and love on it and appreciate it, respect it, and be thankful and grateful for that automobile and treat it like it were a pet. Exactly. So till tomorrow, thank you to all of you who have put your first and good foot forward to help Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men, women, children, meals, love, and hope, changing lives one at a time in the entire Niagara region. They have their big beef dinner fundraiser coming up, so check them out. Make sure if you haven't gotten a ticket, I got mine. I'm ready. I'm good to go. It's a fundraiser, so there's gift baskets, silent auction, 50-50, all kinds of things going on. The meal is to die for, let me tell you, and the desserts. They also have a vintage record fundraiser coming up. That's in June, I believe, beginning of June. But that's all on their website. Click on their logo on our homepage and click your way through to their website, and all the information is there. Support them any way you can. They're a nonprofit, faith-based organization that counts on people like you and me, small business owners and businesses in and around the entire Niagara region. They're feeding over 300 people a week. Actually, it's closer than that. On Tuesdays, 260 to 300 hot meals, and then again on Friday. So they're feeling the crunch. So if there's anything you can do to help them, I thank you personally for doing that. You're a good person. Thank you so much. So till tomorrow morning, we'll see you again for Motormouth Morning Drive at 8 a.m. Make it a great day. Keep it under 100. And watch out for the other guy. Happy, healthy motoring. Peace, patience, and kindness always. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.